My name is Gemson. Welcome to Smart Carping. Today we're at the North Lake Complex in Yaley. We're going to show you how to use a marker rod to feature find in the swim in front of us. Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look at the key component parts we need to build a marker float setup. Leads first. Leads give us two functions. Firstly, we need a heavy enough lead to be able to cast to the range we need to be fishing at. And secondly, the leads we've got on show here have got protrusions on them that help transmit the feeling of the bottom, be that pebbles or silt, sand or mud. The next key part is a float. We've got here a quarter float, but a lot of manufacturers make floats for all different ranges and applications, be that weedy, long range, short, medium, or different light conditions. There's a marker float to suit everything. The other components we're showing are rings, buffer beads, clips, swivels and cork balls. These are the core bits you'll need. Let's show a marker float setup already built. The lead is attached to a 12-inch standoff boom via a quick link. At the other end of the standoff boom is a large 10mm cork ball with a running ring. The main line runs through the running ring to a buffer bead, to a quick clip, to the marker float. Let's look at lines and leaders. For our main line, I use Berkeley Whiplash Pro in 30 pound. This has two advantages. It's fine, which means it casts very, very well. And there is zero stretch in it, which means any bottom, pebble, sand, silt is transmitted beautifully up through the line and into our rod, allowing us to feel exactly what's going on. The leaders, we can use quarter armour cord in 50 pound, or what I prefer is a mono leader, a Suffix 20 pound leader, which is very stiff and minimises tangles on the cast. Here we can see the Whiplash Pro loaded onto our spool. It's important you don't overfill your spool with braid, as you'll suffer from horrendous wind knots. You'll see a small double grinner knot connecting the 20 pound Suffix leader line to the braid. The knot is small and therefore casts beautifully. Most manufacturers now can offer marker rods. I've got two here to show you today. The first is the Chubb Outcast marker rod, retailing at $49.99. It's a 12-foot, 2-piece, 3-pound test curve carp rod with markings on it for accurate depth definition. The second rod is a Grays marker rod. It retails at $89.99. It's a 12-foot, 3-pound test curve again with the graduations for depth recognition. Both rods have been balanced with Shimano 8000 GTX big pit reels loaded with braid. The combination of the reels, the rods and the line means that we can reach the range that we would normally fish at with our carp rods. This is what our rig will look like when it's cast into the bottom of the lake. As we pay line off the reel, the float will travel towards the surface. When the float hits the surface, we'll know exactly how deep the swim is. As I mentioned earlier, braid has a real tendency to wind knot. To prevent this, all we have to do is wet the line with some lake water. A couple of handfuls is enough. That will stop the wind knots and allow us good, clean casting. Hold the rod square to the line as it goes out into the lake and gently and smoothly reel in, allowing the lead to bump across the bottom, transmitting the feelings through the line and up to the rod into your hand. As you can see, there's a gentle compression on the rod. This is indicating that we're more than likely pulling through shallow silt. You can see now that the tip is starting to bang. That's a clear indication that we're coming across a gravel bar. The transition between silt and gravel is normally a very strong feeding area for carp to get onto. As we come in, we should find a plateau with some gravel on. And here it is there. You can see the tip rattling around now as the lead bounces over the pebbles. Now we've found a feature out there that we like the look of. Let's see how deep it is. To do that, we simply loosen the clutch and pay line off. 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, and the float is up. You can see the rod has got 6-inch and 12-inch markers on it which allow us to very accurately set the depth. We now know that that feature out there is 5 foot deep. As the lead travels across the bottom, transmitting the feeling through the line, it also has a habit of collecting the bottom debris, be that silt, weed or leaves. This will give us an opportunity to have another look at what our rigs might be laying on. Let's see what's on ours. As you can see, leaf debris. This might be silt, it might be weed. It's important you check it and smell it to see if it's stale. This isn't stale. A bright bait popped up on top of this leaf will certainly attract a hungry winter carp.